Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bio Mystery Media. Find a comfortable place to sit, take a slow breath, and let the story begin. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are standing beside the River Thames in London. It is midnight. The city is quiet. And then, a sound fills the air. Deep, powerful, unmistakable. Unmistakable means impossible to confuse with anything else, immediately recognizable. The sound that has told the people of London what time it is for over 160 years. Bong. Almost everyone in the world knows that sound. Almost everyone in the world has seen that tower. Rising above the River Thames. Gothic. Gothic here means built in the medieval European architectural style with pointed arches and ornate stonework. And golden against the London sky. But here is what almost nobody knows. The bell inside that tower is cracked. It has been cracked since 1859, 2 months after it first rang. And it has been ringing, cracked, every single day since then. The name Big Ben, nobody actually knows where it came from. The tower itself, it is not called Big Ben at all. And hidden inside that tower, 1/3 of the way up, is a prison cell that was last used to lock up a member of Parliament. This is the real story of Big Ben, and it is stranger and more fascinating than anything the tourist postcards ever told you. Welcome to Bio Mystery Media. Real history, real stories, told in clear natural English, perfect for history lovers and for B1 and B2 English learners everywhere. Take a comfortable breath and let the story begin. The fire burned through the night. Thousands of Londoners gathered on the banks of the Thames to watch. The painter J.M.W. Turner, one of England's greatest artists, was among them. He made sketches. Sketches are quick, rough drawings of that night. Paintings of the fire that are now considered masterpieces. A masterpiece is a work of outstanding artistry or skill. By morning, most of the ancient palace of Westminster was gone, centuries of history, reduced to ash and rubble. But from that destruction, something extraordinary would rise, something that would one day become the most recognized. Recognized means known and identified by many people. Clock tower in the world. A competition. A competition is a contest in which people compete for a prize or honor, was held to design the new Palace of Westminster. The rules were strict. The building must be in either Gothic or Elizabethan style. Elizabethan style refers to the architectural style popular during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I in the 16th century. The winner was an architect. An architect is a person who designs buildings, named Charles Barry. Barry was a brilliant designer, but he had a problem. Gothic architecture was not his speciality. A speciality is a subject or skill that someone knows particularly well. So he turned to another man, a young architect named Augustus Pugin. Pugin was a genius, a deeply religious man who believed that Gothic architecture was the only truly Christian way to build. He was also, by many accounts, brilliant to the point of madness. He worked at a pace that seemed impossible. He designed everything, the towers, the windows, the carvings, the wallpaper, the furniture, the coat hooks in the corridors. Every single detail of the new Palace of Westminster passed through Augustus Pugin's extraordinary mind. But the pressure means the stress caused by difficult demands or expectations, was enormous. Enormous means extremely large. Pugin worked until his mind broke. He suffered a complete mental breakdown. A breakdown means a period of mental illness caused by severe stress or anxiety. In 1851, he died the following year. He was just 40 years old. He never saw the tower completed. The tower he had poured, to pour means to give something in large amounts, his entire genius into. The tower that would one day bear the most famous bell sound in the world. Key vocabulary. Legacy. A legacy is something handed down by a person from the past. It is what they leave behind after they are gone. Augustus Pugin's legacy stands beside the River Thames to this day. Even though most people who photograph it have never heard his name, the tower itself was extraordinary. But a clock tower needs a bell. And getting the right bell turned out to be one of the most complicated and sometimes farcical. Farcical means absurdly chaotic or ridiculous, like something from a comedy. Episodes in Victorian engineering history. The first bell was cast. To cast a bell means to pour molten metal into a mold to create its shape. In 1856 at a foundry is a factory where metal is melted and cast into shapes. In Stockton-on-Tees in northern England. It was enormous. Weighing over 16 tons, it was transported to London by ship and then through the streets on a specially built cart pulled by 16 horses. Crowds gathered to watch it pass. Children ran alongside it. It was a great spectacle. A spectacle means an impressive public event or display. In the streets of Victorian London. And then, during testing, it cracked. The first great bell of Big Ben was useless. A new bell had to be cast. This time at the Whitechapel Bell Foundry. A foundry is a workshop where metal is melted and cast into shapes. In East London. The new bell weighed 13.7 tons, slightly smaller, slightly lighter. It was raised. To raise means to lift something to a higher position, to the top of the tower in 1858. And on May 31st, 1859, Big Ben rang for the first time. London celebrated. The sound carried across the city. Deep, resonant. Resonant means producing a deep, clear sound that continues for a long time. Rich, the sound of a new era. An era means a long period of time marked by a particular character or event. For London. And then, 2 months later, in September 1859, the bell cracked. The hammer striking the bell was too heavy. Roughly twice the weight it should have been for a bell of that size. The damage was done. The bell fell silent. For 4 years, a smaller quarter bell rang on the hour instead. A temporary means lasting for only a limited time. Solution while engineers argued about what to do next. Finally, a decision was made. The cracked bell would not be replaced. Instead, it would simply be rotated. Rotated means turned around on its axis. Slightly. So that the hammer struck a different, undamaged part of the surface, and a lighter hammer was fitted. And that is exactly what happened. The bell you hear today, ringing across London, is a cracked bell. It has been cracked since 1859. The crack is still there. It always has been. Key phrase: making the best of a bad situation. Making the best of a bad situation means finding a way to continue despite problems rather than giving up. For over 160 years, Big Ben has been making the best of a bad situation. And sounding magnificent. Magnificent means impressively beautiful or grand. While doing it, here is something that will surprise you. The tower that everyone in the world calls Big Ben is not officially called Big Ben. The tower is officially named Elizabeth Tower. It was renamed in June 2012 in honor of Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee. A Diamond Jubilee marks the 60th anniversary of a monarch's reign. Before that, it was simply called the Clock Tower. Big Ben is the name of the bell inside the tower, not the tower itself. And here is the even stranger part. Nobody is completely certain where the name Big Ben actually came from. There are 2 theories. A theory is an idea or set of ideas intended to explain something. Theory 1. The bell was named after Sir Benjamin Hall, a large Welsh politician who served as the first commissioner of works during the final stages of the tower's construction. He was known in Parliament. In Parliament means in the place where laws are made and debated. By the affectionate, affectionate means showing fondness and care. Nickname Big Ben. His name was even inscribed. Inscribed means written or engraved on a surface, on the bell when it was cast. This is the most widely accepted theory. Theory 2. The bell was named after Benjamin Conte, a famous English heavyweight bare knuckle. Bare knuckle means fighting without gloves using fists only. Boxing champion. Conte was such a large and powerful figure that in Victorian England the nickname Big Ben became commonly used to describe anything that was the biggest or heaviest in its class. Which theory is correct? Nobody knows for certain. Even today. Key vocabulary: ambiguous. Ambiguous means open to more than one interpretation, not clear or decided. The origin of the name Big Ben is delightfully means in a way that causes great pleasure. Ambiguous. The most famous nickname in London, and nobody can agree on where it came from. Now. Here is the secret that most tourists standing outside Big Ben never know. Hidden inside Elizabeth Tower, 114 steps up from the ground, is a prison cell. A prison cell. Inside one of the most famous clock towers in the world. The prison room was used to hold members of Parliament who breached means broke or violated, the codes of conduct. Codes of conduct are official rules about how people must behave, of the House of Commons. It was last used in 1880, when a newly elected member of Parliament named Charles Bradlaugh caused a constitutional means relating to the rules and principles that govern a country. Crisis. Bradlaugh was an atheist. An atheist is a person who does not believe in the existence of God or any gods. He refused to swear allegiance. Allegiance means loyalty and commitment to a person, group, or cause, to Queen Victoria on the Bible. Because he did not believe the Bible had any meaning. Parliament was outraged. Outraged means extremely shocked and angry. He was locked in the prison room inside the tower overnight. There he sat, inside the most famous clock tower in the world, listening to the bell ring above his head every 15 minutes. Through the night. Bradlaugh was eventually allowed to take his seat in Parliament. He went on to become a respected means admired and held in high regard. Politician, and the prison room inside Big Ben has been empty ever since, waiting, just in case. When World War II came to London, Adolf Hitler had a specific desire. A desire means a strong wish or want to destroy Big Ben. The Luftwaffe. The Luftwaffe was the German Air Force during World War II, targeted London in what became known as the Blitz. The Blitz was the sustained means continuing for a long period of time. Bombing campaign by Nazi Germany against Britain in 1940 and 1941. Night after night, German bombers flew over London, dropping their deadly cargo. Cargo means goods or materials being transported, on the city below. Big Ben was a target, a symbol of British democracy. Democracy means a system of government where the people choose their leaders through elections, and resilience. Resilience means the ability to recover quickly from difficult situations. Destroying it would have been a powerful propaganda. Propaganda means information used to influence public opinion, especially in a misleading way. Victory for Nazi Germany. But the clock faces were darkened. Darkened means made dark, deprived of light, during wartime blackout. Blackout means a period when all lights must be turned off to prevent enemy aircraft from identifying targets below. No light, no illumination. Illumination means light or the act of lighting something up. Just a dark tower rising silently in the blacked-out London sky. The tower was struck by a German bomb in May 1941. the same raid that destroyed the main chamber of the House of Commons. Minor damage was done to the tower's ornamental stonework. But the clock kept working. The bell kept ringing where it could. Britain kept going. In 2020, during a major restoration project, workers made a shocking discovery. The bomb damage from 1941 was far more extensive. Extensive means covering a large area, very thorough, than anyone had previously known. Decay and damage to hundreds of intricate means very detailed and complex. Carvings, toxic lead paint throughout the structure, broken glass in the clock dials. The full extent of what Nazi bombs had done to the tower had been hidden for nearly 80 years. The restoration cost rose from £61 million to nearly £80 million as a result. Key phrase: hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight means something that is visible to everyone but not noticed or understood. The damage Nazi bombs did to Big Ben had been hidden in plain sight for 8 decades. The clock mechanism. A mechanism is a system of parts that work together to make something function. Inside Big Ben is one of the most precise. Precise means exact and accurate in every detail in the world. Each of the 4 clock faces has a diameter, and diameter means the distance across the center of a circle, of 23 feet. That is about the height of a 2-story house. Each minute hand is 14 feet long. Each clock face is made of 312 pieces of opal glass. Opal glass is a type of white translucent glass that glows when light shines through it. The clock is kept accurate. Accurate means correct in every detail, free from errors, through one of the most charmingly simple methods in engineering history. Old pennies are old British coins, are placed on top of the pendulum. A pendulum is a weight hung from a fixed point that swings back and forth to regulate a clock. Adding a penny makes the clock go slightly faster. Removing a penny makes it go slightly slower. The mechanism has been adjusted this way for over 160 years, one of the most precise timekeeping instruments in the world. Regulated means controlled and maintained at a consistent standard. By old coins. Even in severe weather, the clock has shown its vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities means weaknesses, points that can be affected by outside forces. On New Year's Eve 1962, heavy snow and ice weighed down the clock hands. Big Ben rang in the new year, 10 minutes late. The most reliable clock in the world, 10 minutes late. On the most important night of the year. Key vocabulary: precision. Precision means the quality of being exact and accurate. Big Ben is a symbol of British precision, but even symbols have their human moments. Here is the final secret of Big Ben, the one that nobody mentions on the tourist trail. The tourist trail means the popular route that tourists follow when visiting famous places. Big Ben is leaning, not dramatically, not in a way you would notice standing in the street below, but measurably. Measurably means in a way that can be detected and quantified. The tower tilts. To tilt means to move into a sloping position, slightly to the northwest, by approximately 230 millimeters. Ground conditions beneath the tower have shifted. Shifted means moved gradually from one position to another, since its construction in the 1840s. The Jubilee Line extension. An extension means an addition to something that makes it larger. Built beneath London in the 1990s is believed to have contributed. To contribute means to play a part in causing something. To the lean. But here is the reassuring. Reassuring means making someone feel less worried or afraid to impart. Experts who have studied the lean say it presents no danger. The tower should be perfectly fine for another 5,000 to 10,000 years. A cracked bell, a name nobody can fully explain. A prison cell inside, Nazi bomb damage hidden for 80 years. a tower kept on time by old pennies, and a lean that will not be a problem for 5,000 years. This is Big Ben, not the postcard version, the real one. Every day, millions of people around the world hear that sound, in films, in television programs, in news broadcasts. That deep resonant chime that says one thing above all others. London. Big Ben has marked the hours through the reigns. Reigns means the periods during which monarchs ruled, of 6 British monarchs. Through 2 world wars, through the birth of radio and television, through the moon landing, through the fall of empires, through a global pandemic. A pandemic means a disease that spreads across a very large area affecting a large number of people. On the night of December 31st, 1923, Big Ben's chimes were broadcast on BBC Radio for the first time, heard across Britain, and eventually across the world. A sound that connected people, that said, wherever you are, time moves forward. The men who built it are gone. Charles Barry, Augustus Pugin, who gave his mind and his life to design it, the Victorian engineers who cast the bell twice, who rotated it when it cracked, who kept it going through wars and storms and political scandals. They are all gone, but the bell rings on, cracked and magnificent, the way so many extraordinary things are. Key phrase, standing the test of time. Standing the test of time means remaining valuable or respected over a very long period. Big Ben has stood the test of time, not because it is perfect, but because, crack and all, it never stopped. 5 key words from today's story. Unmistakable, impossible to confuse with anything else, immediately recognizable. The sound of Big Ben is unmistakable anywhere in the world. Legacy, something handed down from the past, what a person or thing leaves behind. Augustus Pugin's legacy stands beside the River Thames to this day. Ambiguous, open to more than one interpretation, not clear or decided. The origin of the name Big Ben remains beautifully ambiguous. Precision, the quality of being exact and accurate in every detail. Big Ben is a symbol of British precision, regulated by old pennies. Standing the test of time, remaining valuable or respected over a very long period. Big Ben has stood the test of time, cracked bell and all. If today's story surprised you, then no. If you thought you knew Big Ben and discovered you only knew the postcard version, leave a comment below and tell me which secret surprised you most. Was it the cracked bell? The prison cell inside the tower? The Nazi bomb damage hidden for 80 years? Or the fact that the most precise clock in the world is kept on time with old pennies? Subscribe to Bio Mystery Media. Every week we tell the real story. Behind the landmark, behind the legend, behind the version everyone already knows. In clear natural English for history lovers and B1 and B2 English learners everywhere.